Hello and welcome back. My name is V and today we're watching the Alleria Light and Shadow The War Within cinematic. It only came out about a couple of weeks ago, so I'm surprised that I'm not too terribly late with it. And the reason why I want to watch it, apart from really wanting to learn the lore to get myself ready to play The War Within, is because Alleria used to be one of my favorite characters in both World of Warcraft and Hearthstone, as I play Hearthstone as well. I really love the lore of Sylvanas, of Alleria, and of the Windrunner sisters in general. I think it's such a tragic and moving story that even though some people don't play World of Warcraft, I think that they do deserve to know what happened there. And that's the reason why I decided to react to this one and upload it on my MMO channel. So if you happen to not be playing World of Warcraft, you might be interested in seeing this, as it is a little bit of a movie. It is actually the first World of Warcraft 2D animated movie, and I'm very, very curious to see what they did with the art style. So excited for that. If you happen to be new here on the channel, make sure to subscribe. This is where I do my World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, and other MMO and MMORPG content. So if you're into that, I think we'll get along. Now let's watch.
When we are young, we are taught to revere the light. But when I turn to it, I see only fire. The fire of pain, of loss, the choices I made. Quel'Thalas, home. Until the Horde threatened everything. My family was sworn to protect it.
Now, for those of you who are not super familiar with this story, the premise of the story is the Horde attacked Quel'Thalas, which is the home of the High Elves. And you know how, like, in all of these story books and lore and whatnot, elves and High Elves are normally presented as very prideful and kind of self-sufficient, not really wanting to get involved with anyone or anything, and just thinking that if they're just there and they ignore everyone else's existence, that they're gonna be fine. No spoilers, but that is somewhat how this story came to be, and it's a truly tragic story. I actually listened to it through audiobooks, and I remember crying while I was listening to this. It's such a well-written tale, and honestly, it shapes one of the most important bits of the World of Warcraft lore. So I'm really, really excited to see this in 2D.
And protect it we did. When Sylvanas and I fought together, we fought as one. But the conflict here was growing, pulling my sister and I apart.
So sad.
You will choose the Alliance over Quel'Thalas, our home.
It's not just our kingdom at risk. If the Horde isn't beaten back, others will fall. I have to go.
But you're abandoning your family.
I am doing this for our family. I lost a sister that day. Had I known that my actions would curse Sylvanas to her fate, would I have chosen differently? I left my home to fight this war to the end. I had no idea how far away that fight would take me.
I do think that even if you don't play World of Warcraft or Hearthstone or anywhere where Sylvanas is mentioned, I think if you know anything about World of Warcraft, you've probably heard of Sylvanas. And a lot of people are actually surprised to find out that Sylvanas was not, I want to say the bad guy, but it's such an interesting and a gripping story of how this particular conflict actually shaped her into who she was. I don't want to give any spoilers to the people who might not be familiar with this story, but it's very much worth listening to.
Yet despite the war, I found my life's true love, Turalyon. And together we fought side by side until we became three. But beyond the boundaries of our world, our enemies grew powerful.
You can make your stand here. Why risk marching into the unknown?
Our only choice is to take the fight to them before it's too late. Should we not succeed,
I will keep him safe. Just come back.
She is so brave.
We'll return before you know it, Eritor.
had I known that I would not see my son again until he was a man himself, would I have still left?
So sad.
I had given everything for this fight. The only thing left to give was myself. There was no other way. In order to defeat the darkness, I had to embrace it. So embrace it I did.
For him as a paladin, must have been a little heartbreaking to see his wife tap into the void, essentially.
But at what cost? Turalyon, who had known me, loved me, fought beside me, now saw me differently.
What have you done?
The shadow. It saved us.
No. I would rather have died than see you fall to evil.
Turalyon didn't understand, but I could not fault him. If I had known that embracing the shadow would push him away, would I have sought another path? No. All of the things I did for a reason. War is sacrifice. And I have sacrificed everything to protect those I love. To keep them safe. And if it takes sacrificing myself to protect our world, I will not hesitate. I am a soldier of Azeroth. Just come back.
That was a really, really interesting watch. I knew this story already, and this story is something that was beginning to be told, I think, from the start of World of Warcraft, but it really started to take shape in Legion and after that. And I'm so glad that they're continuing the story of Alleria. I think that if you know anything about me whatsoever, you know why I resonate with her so much. She's essentially a mommy, and she's, a wife, and she's trying to protect not just her immediate family, but her sisters and her home. And she never really gives up, even when people think that she does things for the wrong reason. So essentially, she ends up sacrificing her relationship and pretty much the good standing with some people to basically tap into the void and use it to do what others can't or won't. And this story is a little reminiscent of Illidan's story in that comparison, because he essentially, as a demon hunter, he did tap, into this power that he was never meant to have. And it was so interesting to see who was eventually okay with that when it came to, saving the world and whatnot, and who was still like, meh, we'll pass. So it's I like Alliance story, and I definitely, as an Alliance player, I definitely don't think that Alliance is perfect. There's a lot of hypocrisy in Alliance, and it is definitely something to consider. If you're new to World of Warcraft, and if you're like looking to choose your faction, Alliance is not just good and Horde is not just bad. There's a lot of hypocrisy in Alliance as well. There's a lot of honor on the Horde side also. So it just kind of depends what you're into. I'd love to hear what you thought about this cinematic. I personally did love it, and I love this art style. I believe that this is the first video. I really hope that they're going to continue with this kind of animation, these kinds of cinematics, and are going to slowly start retelling the story of World of Warcraft in general, especially these parts that are very important for the War Within, as I do think that it will help new players kind of understand where some of these, new characters are coming from, who they are, what they've been through, and how it's shaped their characters in the War Within, which I'm very excited to see. That's going to be it for today. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure to press that sub button. If you enjoy the video, leave it a like, leave a comment down below, and tell me how you liked the cinematic and what you think of Alleria and the Windrunner Sisters lore in general. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and until next time, bye bye.